Hi, everyone. Welcome. And I'm Maggie Macaulay of Wholehearted Parenting. Welcome to Three Things Chats That Inspire. This is where I have an awesome time talking with folks about fresh ideas. During these chats, our special guest will share with you three key inspiring things about our topic for the month. And it's February of 2022. Our topic for this month is the narrative around appearance for girls. And there are so many aspects to this topic. There are so many that we're going to have multiple conversations with people. And today I have the wonderful pleasure of talking to Katie Paff. Katie, I've known a long time, and they have recently become a Human Rights Campaign Youth Ambassador. Katie does a lot of work around advocacy, and Katie gears their work towards making schools a safer place for LGBTQ plus youth. So Katie, thank you so much for being here today. It's awesome to see you.
So nice seeing you. Thank you for having me.
You're very, very welcome. And I want to say a big congratulations to you on becoming a youth ambassador. I am most proud for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So we do have a workshop coming up called Changing the Narrative Around Appearance for Girls. It's happening on February the 12th. And so there you are in that picture that I love. So I'm excited to talk to you today, Katie, about your perspective around this topic. And let's begin, if we could, with you sharing what it was like in high school or even right now for you, maybe even the middle school, about the narrative around appearance and what kind of messages did you get, knowing many times these messages aren't shared overtly. They're not something that people sit down and talk about, yet somehow we get it, right? We get these messages.
Yeah.
So will you share your experience?
Sure. So in high school, especially early on, I really kind of got the message of if you were female, you had to wear dress, skirt, anything that was marked female. And for males, you had to wear anything male. And if you were anything in between that, it was wrong. Like you fell off, you were like feeling like you were maybe being watched or maybe got some stares, and just generally just wasn't sure about it. But the only time you could really, what you would call cross-dressing, of wearing t-shirts and shorts for females and what would be normal for males, would be gym time. Other than that, females had an expectation. And males also really didn't get much of that expectation. It was more so put on the females.
So it sounds like it sounds like being between a rock and a hard place, that you could be uncomfortable wearing the clothes that were just known to be worn, so to speak, or you could be uncomfortable wearing the clothes that you felt comfortable in because you were being judged.
Exactly. And again, you may not see anybody directly looking at you or saying remarks, but you kind of had that feeling.
Yeah.
The only other time other than gym that was acceptable was if it was like really cold out and you needed to wear stuff to be warm. Other than that, especially when it was kind of hot out, it was kind of expected to see females in dresses and not shorts.
Gotcha.
Or skirts.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. So you have given us three things that you'd like to share. We're going to jump into those. And these are things that LGBTQ plus youth would really desire from their family, their parents, their friends, and their allies. And we can tie those also, with some comments about appearance and that narrative around appearance. So your number one is be there for youth no matter what.
Yeah, so that's really a big thing, especially for LGBTQ plus youth, especially when it also comes to appearance, because half the time, like me, who's LGBTQ plus, I don't fit into the female realm. I don't wear dresses. I don't wear skirts. If I wear shorts, they're not the female shorts. They're the male shorts. They're the baggy t-shirts. I'm the one that looks like I'm always in gym class.
Gotcha.
But that can really take a toll on youth when you're feeling like you're already standing out because you're already wearing stuff that's making you comfortable, but maybe getting judged. But when you're LGBTQ plus, especially I want to say trans female who may not be fully passing yet, you'll really get looked at. And that's where the mental health can set in, where the depression can set in just from appearance. So
Right.
that's why you need to be there for them so that they know that it's okay to be them. It's okay to be different. And there really should be no normal female clothes or normal male clothes. It should just be normal clothes, not based on gender at all.
Gotcha. I love that. So let's normalize how people want to dress.
Yeah, and just be there for them and just know it's okay to be the way that they are.
And you said something to me one time when we were talking in relation to this, that for adults, parents, teachers, guidance counselors, those who are in charge and working with youth, to really notice if there's a change in appearance, to be aware of those things. I think you mentioned if someone was wearing makeup and suddenly they stopped, or they changed the kind of clothes they were wearing, just to be aware of that, to begin to notice these kind of changes and to step in and have a conversation.
Yeah, because that could be your red flag of depression setting in, eating disorders setting in. And because this is the perfect timeline for those to set in, especially if they are LGBTQ plus, because LGBTQ plus have so much more mental health issues, like the suicide rate for transgender youth is 6 times the normal rate of someone who's straight.
Mhm.
So especially with LGBTQ plus youth, you really need to be there for them. And if you even have a gut feeling of something's off with that youth, pull them aside, pull them out of class, have that conversation and make sure there's an open door policy. If your school personnel, family, or friends, just know that they can talk to you about it no matter what.
That's wonderful. Your number 2, try to understand where the youth is coming from.
Yeah, so what I mean by that is especially this is more on the parent side, but also at the same time can be applied for school personnel.
Mhm.
If you see a youth who, is generally quiet and doing their work, and then now all of a sudden they're acting out, they're more loud in class, their grades might be slipping, and they're just not themselves anymore, you really need to step in, but don't judge them. Don't be like, you're acting out for attention and punish them for that.
Mhm.
Try to make sure they're not acting out because they need help. Because half the time, the youth that are acting out, especially the ones that went from being what you would call teacher's pet and being nice and everything to now not giving a crap about stuff, as you would say, that's a huge red flag. That means something's up. That doesn't mean they just want to be rude now. They want to party. They want to do this. They're like waving their hands saying, I need help. I need help by
Mhm.
doing these activities. So that's where you really need to try to understand and not judge them and be instead be there for them
Yeah.
and understand, okay, something might be going on. It might be time of year. It might be maybe they're all of a sudden right now getting bullied and now they don't want to be stand out for being bullied. So now they're acting out to try and counteract that. So instead of punishing them and looking down on them and judging them, come from a place of understanding so that they can have that open space to talk and tell you what's up when things first happen before the need to act out happens.
Yeah, so I love that. So if you notice a change, either somebody who suddenly is loud and acting out, as you said, or it could be the opposite.
Exactly. I was just going to say that.
Yeah, somebody suddenly is very quiet, and where they used to be more expressive in class, they're really quiet, or at home even. Maybe they're in their room a lot and they used to hang out with the family more or hang out with friends more. That's a time to begin to notice and have that conversation. And from a place of looking beyond the behavior, looking
Yes.
what's underneath that behavior, that the behavior is simply a reflection. So
Yes.
get curious, parents and teachers, get curious about what's going on rather than
Exactly.
being judgmental.
And
Mhm.
also that also comes with appearance, because again, if you see a male who normally is confident in wearing skinny jeans and a tight shirt with a belt, but now suddenly they're wearing baggy t-shirt, hoodie, shorts, and like maybe sneakers instead, and they're just not acting their normal selves, that's also a red flag. So don't just look at the behavior, but also look at their appearance.
Wonderful.
And just always keep that in mind. And also before anything arises, especially with LGBTQ plus youth, make sure that you're not the only person that they trust. Make sure that they can go to other people, especially if you are a parent. Make sure that there's outlets like school social worker. Make sure that they know they can go to that person, that they can go to counselors at school, or that they have family they can talk to besides you, so that they can have many options in case there is something happening that they're not feeling comfortable coming to you about. Make sure there's more than just you there for support.
Perfect. So your number 3, let them know that you were there and want to help them because you care.
Yeah, so that kind of ties in with number 2.
Mhm.
Be there for them, because this is a rough time frame for youth, especially LGBTQ plus youth, especially for school personnel with them, because they might be in a home where they can't really transition if they're transgender or non-binary because of family.
Right.
So just know that you may be the one person keeping them afloat, and make sure that they know that you are there. And again, open door policy, because that really could save lives. Same thing with family. Keep an eye on them and let them know that you care, and talk to them, and do not judge them at all. Ask questions, go to people, look up resources, or better yet, if you're a parent with a transgender daughter or son or non-binary child, talk to the school social worker if you're not sure what to do. Talk to people, get the resources to help them. Don't think, oh, they're LGBTQ plus, they must know everything, so just talk to them. No, I'm still discovering it out. I'm still trying to look for the perfect resources for medical stuff. I'm still trying to figure out the whole medical side of my transition. I'm still trying to figure all of that out, if I'm going to transition or if I'm not. And that's a lot of the same questions these youth are thinking about and talking
Right.
about with their peers that are also LGBTQ plus. So also keep that door open and make sure you give them the best resources that you can.
I love that. And to add on something that you said to me another time we were talking was, when you go shopping for clothes, let your kids take the lead. Let them go where they want to go in the store to find their clothes, or
Exactly.
online if they shop online.
Exactly. Don't just assume they're male or female and take them to the respective areas. Just kind of say, okay, let's go find clothes for you. Where do you want to start? Is a great conversational starter for
Yeah.
youth. And you can even start doing this with middle school kids, because also there's been a theory, and it's been getting proven that kids are knowing that they are transgender at younger ages.
Mhm.
So let younger kids have a say in their clothes, not just the high school and young adult kids. Let younger kids who might be in second grade start picking out their clothes. Start with them early. And that's the same thing at home. Even once you get the clothes home, let them mix match clothes you may have already put in your mind as perfect outfits. Let them
Right.
choose the outfits, even at home. Just let them show off how they want to present. Because that is the biggest thing, especially with LGBTQ plus youth, is letting them control how they show up in their spaces.
I love that you shared the complexity of it and that idea that, you know, when parents don't know something, but they think their kids know everything, that may not be the case. It's a journey for, I don't like that word journey, but I don't know another word.
I really don't even like it either.
I
And
know.
the
Let's
thing
think of
with
another one.
transition too is it's never done. Keep that
Yeah,
in mind too for your young adults. So if you have teenagers thinking, okay, once they get top surgery or bottom surgery or both, or hormones as well, that once they stop taking hormones or get the surgery, it's done. No, it's always progressing. It's always moving in a way. It's
right.
never stable.
There's
And that's
always
one thing you
more.
need to keep in mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So you
great.
might
I
have
mean,
a kid in second grade, you might have a girl in second grade into everything female, and then third grade comes along, she starts wanting to use more boy clothes, but still mixing in the girl clothes once a week. That's okay. And then by fourth grade might be all boy clothes. That's also okay.
yeah,
Let them show you how they want to present, even if they're not LGBTQ plus. Because I truly feel like clothes should not be based on gender, but based on how you want to present. Because it's the way that you showcase yourself the best. So
I
let
love
kids
that.
decide, even if they're not LGBTQ plus. Let girls wear boy clothes and boys wear girl clothes. Like, what's wrong with that? Just let them dress how they want. Let them be themselves, because that's also where the confidence will come in, and a better chance of, if they do suffer from mental health, that it may not be as bad and they may be able to get through it a bit easier, is let them decide their appearance.
I love that, Katie. I love that. I want to give a shout out to the Human Rights Campaign while saying thank you so very much. And there's a quote here from Dr. Vinnie Pompey, who's the HRC Foundation's director of the Youth Wellbeing Program. And so the foundation is a part of that big umbrella of the Human Rights Campaign. And so this program is designed to amplify the important voices of teens and young adults and engage them in helping HRC Foundation improve the lives of LGBTQ plus youth at home, at school, at work, and beyond. These youth have real and meaningful contributions to make to HRC's work and the LGBTQ plus movement. So, Katie, I know your voice is one of those voices. Again, I'm so very proud for you. Thank you for sharing with us your perspective and the complexity of things going on. And let's come up with another word for journey as we go through this. I don't like that word, and I know it's an
Well, it's a
unfolding,
process.
a process. It's a
It's a
process.
continuous process that people go through.
It is, as is life here.
Yes.
All right, my dear. I love you so much, Katie. Thank you.
Thank you.